Hi, welcome to another vlog. I need to wash my face. Yeah, what am I reading currently? I am currently reading The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. Yep, The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. This is so far reminding me a bit of I Am Legend meets Matilda meets that fungus that grows out of ants' heads. That like scared the hell out of me when David Attenborough was talking about it during one of his documentaries, because I specifically remember going, can that get into humans? And basically, yeah, someone took that idea and turned it into a zombie book. It's very interesting. I decided to pick this up because Jessie from Bowties and Books had said that they had really enjoyed it, so I picked it up. I am listening to it via my library because it was available. I am, I think, 38% of the way through it so far. I'm enjoying it. It's really interesting. I do have a physical copy of this, but like I said, it was available through my library. And then I'm also reading, which I think, where'd it go? The Forever Sea by Joshua Phillip Johnson. This one is a really interesting concept in that there is the Forever Sea, which isn't actually, it's not a body of water, it is a body of grass, but they don't know what depths it goes to, and there's things living in it. Legends say that there are ancient beasts that live in this grass, the seagrass. They call this great expanse of grass the sea, the Forever Sea. And legends have that there are beasts of ancient myth living down there. People that go down either go crazy or they don't come back at all. And you can, the cover of this is gorgeous, so I'll have that up. I just don't have it on my book right now because I'm reading it. They've figured out how to ferry ships on this grass using the magic that they are able to wield from some of the grasses that they harvest within this sea. I did get this when I was visiting my grandparents down south. I have a vlog out on that will hopefully be up before this one. I'm currently downloading the content. I just need to edit it. I need to edit a lot of things. I'm enjoying it. These are what I'm calling my transition books because it's like I knew that I wouldn't have enough time in November to finish them in November, so I knew they were going to come into December. So The Girl with All Gifts and The Forever Sea are my transition books going into December, which so far I'm enjoying. I'm a little bit of spooky, a little bit of fantasy. Oh, I also am in the middle of American Catch, The Fight for Our Local Seafood by Paul Greenberg. This was a library book that I have to return because it's due on the 11th, and I just kind of got bored with it, bored reading it. It is interesting, but I just kind of got bored physically reading it, so I'm going to return the library book and then get the audiobook from Libro. Hello, I don't recall when the last time I updated you was, but I did finish The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. So I don't know if I actually ever talked about this one. This one follows Melanie. Every morning she waits in her cell and to be collected for class. And when they come for her, Sergeant Parks keeps his gun pointed at her while two of his people strap her into the wheelchair. She thinks they don't like her. She jokes she won't bite, and they don't laugh. This definitely ended up reminding me of I Am Legend meets Matilda with my nightmare. Basically, this is almost like a zombie apocalypse type horror, which I don't tend to read a whole lot of horror. I have been recently because that's been what I've been craving, and I think this about filled my craving, in all honesty. I thought it was scary enough. There were moments where I pretty much nearly finished this yesterday at work and had a hard time walking to my car alone in the dark. So, and then it didn't help that when I got home and was walking from my car to my front door, my mom's cat ran up behind me, which he's a Maine Coon. If you haven't seen how big Maine Coons are, let's just say I had a mini heart attack, okay? Like, so it made me jumpy. I did finish it last night after I got home from work. Ultimately, I enjoyed it, but the ending felt very reminiscent of, I know it's Jurassic World, but which one? Was it Fallen Kingdom, where the ending was that they let them loose? That's what felt fairly reminiscent of this. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know if I really like the ending. I couldn't predict it though. Like, I kind of like had a sense of where it was going and was just like, oh, this person's gonna die first. And they didn't go how I expected it to go. It was still relatively creepy. I enjoyed it for the most part, but I think I'm only going to give this 3.5 stars. I am curious about The Boy on the Bridge, which is the next. Is it a companion or a sequel? If any of you have read that one, let me know your thoughts, because I am curious about it. Ultimately, though, I did enjoy this. 3.5 star, but more like 3.75. Like, it was near a 4-star. I really did actually enjoy it. It was just the ending was just kind of like, it was lackluster to me. I don't know. I don't know how I would have otherwise done it though. So, and then I got a bunch of loans that were available through my library, just because I wasn't quite sure what I was in the mood for. But now I've actually started listening to Sleeping Giants by, is it Sylvan Nouvelle? This is a used copy, but it's also been like sitting on my shelf for a while. This is mixed media, I believe, in a way. It's more like interview formats or recorded format. I've heard when there was like quite the hype for this series on BookTube to listen to it audibly, that was like the way to go. So that's what I'm doing. I did try to check this book out from my library before and just wasn't feeling it, but now I'm like nearly a quarter there, and I started it this morning. So we are following basically a girl named Rose rode her new bike near her home in Deadwood, South Dakota, when she falls through the earth. She wakes up at the bottom of a square hole, its walls glowing with intricate carvings, with the firemen who come to save her peer down upon something even stranger, a little girl in the palm of a giant metal hand. 17 years later, the mystery of the bizarre artifact remains unsolved. Its origins, architects, and purpose is unknown. Rose Franklin is now a highly trained physicist leading a top-secret team to crack the hand's code. So far, I'm enjoying it. Physically, the Forever Sea. I am not that far into it, though I am starting to use I'm about 110 pages, so almost a quarter of the way. This one's just taking longer, mostly because it's kind of chunky anyway. It's just under 500 pages, but it's also just finding time to sit down and read it. Y'all, I finished this today, and holy shit. So this is the only one I have. This is the first one, and immediately, as soon as I finished this, I went to see if my library had the second and third one. They do not. Rude. So I purchased the audiobooks from Libro, and then went and ordered the physical books because I need the series. So the whole time I was listening to it for like the first 3/4 of this book, this was 4 stars. It was interesting. It was drawing me in. I wanted to know what was happening. I like this interview record style that it's in. Ultimately, just really piqued my interest. And then the last quarter of this book, holy shit went down. And then like the epilogue The epilogue. What? I'm fairly curious. It almost slightly discouraged me when I believe this has like there's inklings like to Genesis, which I don't know much about, but I am curious overall now, particularly about Themis, because the Themis series. But yeah, religion in general tends to make me back off a little bit. So when there was like connections to, I think it was Genesis, I was a little apprehensive, but ultimately still curious. But that epilogue, oh my god! So yeah, I am eager to listen to more of this. I'm debating if I just want to like dive right into it, which is like what I'm probably end up gonna do, or if I want to like take a break and read something else and then come back to this. I'll probably just jump right into Waking Gods. So yeah, 4.5 stars. The only reason why that 0.5 is minus 0.5 is because I feel like I could have been a little more connected to the characters. A little bit. I don't know how, but I would have liked to be. It would have made certain events, I think, a little more impactful. So that's just my feeling. I would like more of a connection with the main characters. So it's, man, though, it got like... I'm excited. It's been a while since I've been able to read a book and then went, holy shit, at the end, and then wanted immediately to just jump right into the rest of the series. Most often than not, I'm kind of looking at the first book, and this is probably why I ended up like soft DNFing it. Originally was because I tend to look at the first book in a series and go, I'm not ready for that kind of commitment. So, but this one, like, so ready. Oh my god, I'm ready. So I may end up doing that. The only even reason why I'm even considering other books as well is because I am at 89 books for this year. It's way beyond my original goal of reading 45 books this year. I didn't update my Goodreads goal. 45 books. It looks like 45 books. Super excited. And low-key want to try to reach 100 books before the new year starts. So I started December out with 87 books. That's 13 books away. And I now have 2 books down. Sorry, the printer's there, but there. The Girl with All the Gifts and Sleeping Giants. I have a couple of books that I pulled that was able to get from my library that are relatively short, but I don't want to read them just for the sake of reading shorter books to get closer to my TBR goal. This is I haven't changed, like I said, I haven't changed it on Goodreads, but I low-key want to meet the 100 book count. But I also have now the audiobooks for the rest of the Themis series, which are also not that long, and I listen at a higher speed of 1.8. I think they're about 8 hours long, or 6 to 8 hours long, so I think I'm just gonna jump into that. I'm really excited for this. I'm just gonna ride this motivation and this optimism and just ride it. I have high hopes for this series. I really hope it's not misplaced. At the same time, though, I just want to go find a comfy place in somewhere, snuggle up, and read The Forever Sea. Because I haven't really gotten, like, I get into it and then I have to go do something. Or I have to go somewhere. So, but I also am trying to edit my November wrap-up because I am 7 days late for that. Hello, it is a new day. Not much to update on. I haven't really read very much since I last updated you. I did start Waking Gods by, is it Sylvan Nouvelle? Not very much into it at all. I'm pretty sure I'm still on the first chapter, not the prologue. I'm done with the prologue. So yeah, but I did get a notification that the physical copy shipped, so I'm really excited. Just excited. I'm excited to be this excited about a new series, let alone wanting to continue it. So, but let's see, I have work from home to do today. I pretty much have what I need to have done right now. I'm waiting for a meeting that is supposed to happen at 12:30, and then I am wanting to go get another pot. So I actually had a clip from before of getting a new plant that was going to be in a vlog, and then I just ended up deleting it. But I did get a new plant, so I did want to show it off. I think it's a very pretty plant. I need to water her. Oh, I definitely need to water her. I'm worried because my friend has the same plant, unbeknownst to me, and she says she's very needy. So already I know that she's wilty, so bear with me. I was gone for a week. That's no excuse now, but look how pretty she is. She's so pretty. What is she? She's a Calathea medallion. I do really need to water her. But I had gotten her as well as a new pot for her. I need to like put her in there, but I'm going to wait and make sure that she survives first. But what I love about her is the purple, but I see that the purple is actually kind of going away because she's wilty. So I need to water her. But yeah, so I went and got that before I had gone down to Southern California. That vlog should be up already, or at least I had told you about it in my November wrap-up, which should hopefully be up before this goes up. I'm still editing it, but I need to go get another pot because my avocado needs to be in dirt. So there's like little white spongy things on the roots, and supposedly that's like mineral deposits that it's creating for itself. So it needs soil now. So I want to pot it. So, and there is a very pretty and just like wholesome little plant store nursery in what we call Old Town. And it's super cute. It's actually where I got the purple, I already forgot her name, medallion. And her pot And I just want to go grab another one. I've been liking the white planter pots so far up against my black desk furniture. I'm really enjoying it. Don't mind my laundry. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I did get like this fun little I don't know if it's a pot necessarily, but I'm kind of using it as like an overfill bowl, just in case for this plant. I love the purple. I am a sucker for green and purple plants. Don't ask me what this one is. I don't know. I forgot. I meant to get the name before I repotted that one, so that I wanted to do little like chalk signage to put into each planter, so I knew what was what. I know that one's a medallion. I need to write that down. And my fern is a rabbit foot fern. So, but I'm liking the white against the black and want to do something similar for my avocado plant. However, I'm unsure where I should have that. I'm thinking that it should go over. I need to just clean this room. I keep saying that. I've been saying that for weeks, but I need to just clean it because I'm wanting to put up a shelf above my this other desk that's covered in crap. That's what I call my drawing table, but I have a shelf here that has my Lord of the Rings fandom books and stuff on it, and I want another shelf here where the avocado plant can go, as well as a couple other books. I'm not sure which yet, but maybe if I enjoy them, maybe the Themis series. That'd be pretty cool. Perfect timing. So I went to look for a pot for my avocado plant, which needs to be in a pot because it's starting to have mineral deposits on its roots. And it left with 3 pots and 2 plants. I spent way too much money. But my first one, it's so pretty. You kind of can see it here, but let me pull it up. Look how pretty. It is a Calathea lancifolia. Like I said, I am a sucker for these purple and green leaves. So I'm really excited about that. It's slightly different than what I have now. I'm noticing though that the plants I keep getting are bigger and bigger. So, and of course had to get a pot that fits it. So it's not quite, it's like a light gray, which is fine. There were some other pots there that I was tempted on getting, but I really do like the white on black. There's something very clean about it, and considering this is a mess, I like some aspect that is clean. But so this shouldn't be too bad. I definitely need to clean this room because I am running out of space and I'm not sure where to. I don't feel comfortable putting all my plants on the hutch that is my desk. There's 3 currently on the top and 1 in one of the cubbies. I'm gonna have to move some stuff around, so I'm definitely gonna have to start cleaning this soon. Next is this. I love the leaves colors. Oh my god, just colors in general. This is a Dieffenbachia Amy. Originally, I think I was thinking that this one would be good for my avocado because it's pretty decent. Then I know I've been saying I wanted the white, but this one, I like this because it reminds, I'm hoping that, I feel like this may be too small for it, but I'm hoping that this plant fits into it because it matches. I mean, not like it's hard for a plant to match green, but I feel like it may only be able to stay in there for a couple, like maybe one season or two, but I really like this. My only issue is that it does have like a little hole on the bottom, and I don't have more water like these things. So yeah, I am farther into Waking Gods. I think I'm about 10% into it. It's already like, I'm loving it. So far, oddly, I guess, I don't know. I haven't seen any reviews for this in a really long time. I say that, but it's like a couple years. For the Themis Files series, mostly because these are pretty backlisted. I believe The Sleeping Giants came out in 2014. So it's been a little bit since like I've seen any reviews for all this whole series. And I don't know, I'll probably look into it after I'm done with the series, just so I don't spoil myself. But so far, favorite character is by far like the mysterious interviewer who has a very gruff voice and is very unhelpful when it comes to like asking questions and trying to get information from him, and Burns, Mr. Burns. I think it's Mr. Burns, or I think they just call him Burns. Love stories, I love it. And it kind of gives this unknown narrator or interviewer a run for his money. And I just constantly challenges him, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy their dynamic. So, and already like even 10% in, like Mr. Burns has quotes that I'm just like, I need the physical book so I can like write them down because they are really good quotes. I particularly like them. I particularly when I really enjoy this, so I'm really happy. Okay, I'm not sure what to update you on. Oh, I guess I'm 54% of the way into Waking Gods. I'm not sure if I'm liking it as much as, as Sleeping Giants, just because, I'm not sure. I'm finding this with a lot of series that I enjoy the first book because it's like the introductory. We get to learn all these things. It's like the introduction to the world, and it's exciting and fresh and new. And then the second and following sequels tend to kind of go downhill from there for me. But I still have hope for it. It's still entertaining. I'm still liking it. It is a bit more complex than the first book. I feel like there's a lot more elements going on, which I get makes sense. Like the first book is typically like I said, it's an introduction. It's to get used to all this information, or in the information we have, and then the second and third book tends to give more information as well as to like also possibly wrap it up. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying it for the most part. I really don't like Alyssa. Oh my goodness, I do not like Alyssa, and don't like the fact that they have to work with her.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, well, you know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
So apparently this is just turned into a Themis Files vlog, because I have started Only Humans by Nouvelle, which is the third and final book in the Themis Files series, and I don't mind it so far. I'm about 20% of the way through. My one issue though is that apparently it's not the same narrator for, so like this I believe is full cast, because there's a variety of different narrators doing different parts, and it's really, I like absolutely love audiobooks like this. My one issue is that whoever they had narrating Eva in the second book is not who's narrating Eva in the third book. And the problem with this is that in the second book she had more of a Spanish accent because she was born in Puerto Rico. In this third one, I don't know what the narrator is trying to do, but that's not a Spanish accent. That sounds like Brooklyn. So it's really throwing me off. But otherwise, I am not minding it so far. So far, the first one has been my favorite. The second one wasn't bad, and it ended on a cliffhanger that was like, okay, yeah, I need to pick up the third one. Much like the first one, with the first one, it was like an oh shit moment. And with the second one, it was more of a, oh damn. It wasn't as impacting, but it was still like, yeah, okay, I need to read the third one. So, yeah, not too bad. Though, ultimately, I don't know if it's going to necessarily be my favorite series, but the first book is definitely so far my favorite out of the three. The second book was sad. Once again, like, I wish that I had more of a connection with some of these characters, because some of the things that end up happening, I don't feel like was as impactful as they could have been if I had been more connected to some of the characters that we lost. So, yeah. So I finished Only Human, the third and final book in the Themis Files series. I kind of go, I was going to say it kind of went how I predicted, but not so much the story, just how my ratings go. So, which I'll talk about in my wrap up, but ultimately I like this one the least, comparably to the other two. It was, like I said, it was a little odd and off-putting that the narrator for Ava wasn't the same, and I don't know accents, but I assume I don't know accents very well, but the accent difference was really weird. It was no longer a Spanish accent, it was more of a what I would consider Brooklyn or like East Coast accent. So it was really kind of throwing me off, and I don't know why. It was throwing me off because she's supposed to be from Puerto Rico, and as well as the fact that like it didn't help her. I know she's supposed to be stubborn and like much like her mother, but it was just kind of it was throwing me off, and it didn't really help her portrayal to me. She was a hard one to connect to. But what I did like was her resolve with her father. That made me tear up. Like, obviously everything, it was still kind of messy, but ultimately I enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of just went like after our, we end up losing a character in the second book, and because they're not in this one, I really couldn't, my feelings for it kind of lessened for it. Just like, well, this character's not in it anymore. So, and there was like hints in the last one that another character was supposed to be taking over for them, and yeah, it kind of. And in this one, it's different. It was a different, very different style. Not very different. It was still very much recording-esque, interview type files. But I didn't like the person asking the questions most of the time because it wasn't always the same person. We get a new character introduced and you can't quite tell what she's up to, which I guess is kind of the point, but it's still like, this one was very much like a reality slap in the face of just like what the world would respond to due to the results of the second book. And they're not great, but at the same time it's very realistic, so it was just kind of like, it was just kind of a bummer. I like the complexities of it though. So alright, so let's wrap up this vlog. So despite me starting this out as just like a general reading vlog, this turned out to be a Themis Files reading vlog. I don't have any complaints about it because I finished the series. Was this a series that I had set out to finish in 2021? No, it's not even one that I had planned on starting. However, it's a series finished, and that's more than I can say a week ago, because this is the first and only series that first series that I have finished in 2021. So I'm happy. So we have two of the books here, first and the third. I have the second on my way. On its way. It's gonna be here sometime next week, hopefully, maybe. I just wanted to finish this up now though. Let's do a general review and summary of the book. So basically the whole series is about following recordings and interviews as well as radio and TV transmissions following a series of events that happens. Basically we start in book one following Rose Franklin, who in her childhood ended up falling into a hole and landing on a gigantic hand. Years later, she's a physicist and ends up being able to research this hand and find out that there's more body parts scattered around Earth, and basically what that means to follow as she builds a team and tries to figure out how to find all these other parts, what they're meant for, what this means for humanity, as it is being slowly discovered that this is not of this world. The whole series is that we're figuring out what this means for humanity and humanity's responses to it. There's not any one specific character we're following, but in general the whole series kind of revolves around Rose Franklin, because she's part of the research of this giant thing. In terms of ratings, I love the first book. The second book was okay, and the third book was okay. Overall, I gave Sleeping Giants, which was the first book, 4.5 stars. It was so close to being 5-star. The second book, I'd probably rate a 4-star, and this one a 3.5. I'm sure that has an average. Let's see what it is. So it's a solid 4 stars. The whole series itself is a solid 4 stars. Like I said, I pretty much enjoyed the series. It was particularly as an audiobook format, because it does have a multiple narrators. My hindrance with with this one in particular, is that one of the characters' narrators ends up getting changed, and rather than the accent that we originally started out with in the second book for this character, we ended up with more of an Eastern Brooklyn accent. New York type, I think. Not that I know accents, but that's what it reminded me of, and it kind of threw me off. I thought it was a very unique series. However, there were certain aspects. One thing that I kept yearning for throughout the whole series was more of a connection to the characters, because we do end up losing some characters. And ultimately, I wish they would have had a bigger impact when we lost them. There was one in particular that we lost that I was a bit more impacted, to the point where I didn't think I would like the third book because I knew they weren't going to be in it. Was curious how it was going to move forward. And it didn't end up moving forward in the way that I thought it would, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, in that, like, yes, I didn't predict it, which is always kind of a good thing, but at the same time, sometimes predicting a book, how a book's going to go, can be good in that, like, oh yes, I hope it goes this way. I hope you write it well that it goes this way. And that's not what happened. Sylvain Neuvel wrote this series in a way that I could never predict what was going to happen, which is odd, because when things ended up happening, particularly when it came to humanity's responses to some of these events, I'm just like, oh, yeah, I should have seen that coming, really. And I don't know if that is just me having more hope for humanity than this series allowed for, or it just, but at the same time, I felt it was very realistic in a scary way. I thought the growth for each of the characters was really nice. We only had a real connection with like 3 to 4 of them, maybe. It didn't hit me in the feels. So that's my overall overview of the series. It was really a really cool audiobook to get into. The audiobook itself was really enticing, just because of the different narrators, and just because of how this series is written. Sylvain Neuvel definitely had me just want to binge listen to this whole series, because as soon as book 1 ended, I'm like, I need the second book. I need to know what happens. And it's the same with the end of the second book. I needed to know what happened in the third one. So it was really nice in that Sylvain Neuvel just like had me hooked, really, to figure out what was happening next, where was this going to lead. So yeah, that's this vlog. If you made it this far, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you have yet to do so already, hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon to get notified when I post more content. And I hope that you are in the mental mindset to enjoy your reading. If you have read this series, I know it's kind of a backlist. I personally had heard about it back in 2016 when I started watching BookTube, and when Sleeping Giants had first came out. I'm kind of happy that I waited, honestly, so that I could binge read it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Chew.